Welcome to the Homemade Broadcast live stream episode 451. My name's Will. Let me get on in here. I got to do this very carefully because first I got to turn this music down and then turn it off. And then I go up and then I turn on his mic on. A little behind the scenes. Hi, Anna. How are you today?
Well.
Good.
Good. Here because it's only 40 minutes I need quiet. So
Shut that cat up.
I know every time, and honestly, hasn't come up to me at all today. Of course, minutes before we start, here he is.
These beasts, they know. Well, welcome to the show. Interesting day for me today.
Yeah. A premonition you thought would come true actually did. So.
Sure did. Many such cases, I might add. I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head of which I was like, nailed it. But I know that I have. In fact, hi, Gouda. Oh, my God. How cute the animal is there. Hi, Gouda. Wave hello to everybody. Show everybody your underdeveloped dong, you sick bastard. That's what it is. The cat likes the attention. And we need to get an animal OnlyFans, which is coming down the line very soon. I'm sure the sick pervert dickhead. Anyway, yeah, interesting day for me today. Of course, everybody knows it was a big announcement today at the radio station that I work at where they got the contract for the Tampa Bay Lightning, which means that when the Lightning are on, it's around 7 o'clock is when games start. 7:30, maybe sometimes 8. That's when the hockey games usually start, which means we're off the air when that happens.
When does hockey season start? October,
yeah, about 3 or 4 weeks. It starts up. So it's look, man. First of all,
let it out, Will. Hey, Will, let it out.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have much to let out. I mean, I'm obviously
you do.
You know what? Really, I don't. Obviously, I knew it was coming. It was something that I kind of figured out along the way. I really knew when my boss asked me to, hey, are you available to run some NHL games perhaps in the near future to get some hours for this opportunity? Hours are what they like to dangle over you here. I replied that I don't need hours. I work many hours unpaid. What I need is either more money or definitely not a opportunity that's an hourly opportunity. I need something that's more of a salary type of situation as I approach the ripe old age of 40. However, I get it. They're seeing what's up. So I get it. And he kind of responded back, I get it. No problem. Don't worry about it. So I knew it was coming. I wish they would just be more honest.
And so can I ask financially what that means for you? So when there's a game, you don't come in at all.
Correct.
And you don't get those hours, obviously.
Correct. Yeah. So it's gonna hurt me a little bit.
Okay.
But it is what it is. I'll find other things to do. I'm gonna start doing more YouTube videos. I'm going to start doing more podcasts and stuff during that time when we're down. So, some people aren't hockey fans, so hopefully they'll come check me out and spend some time, with me either on a live stream or video or podcast. And hopefully I can devote that time to building this YouTube up. And that's the future anyways, right? So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what the future, and really I don't even know what the future holds. So maybe there is a plan and I just don't know about it because I'm not told anything ever by anyone. I'm kind of just 8 to 10, and that's
Well,
really
honestly, I mean, in their defense, they don't tell anyone anything because communication is not the strong suit of the management over where you work, which you don't have to agree with or anything like that. I will say it from my own perspective. They don't employ me anymore, so I can say whatever I want without fear of getting fired. So, but there were many occasions where there was just like a lack of management and communication where even just like a heads up or an email would have bypassed so many problems. But it was just overlooked. Like, and it wasn't just once, like it would happen kind of on the regular. But a lot of it was, you're right, the fact that, quote, we just didn't matter. And so it was like, oh, yeah, we told the whole staff. And then, except for the night guys, you know? So,
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't really know. I don't know, Anna, with that. It's frustrating to me, but again, it's just that's what it is. You know, I'm the low man on the totem pole, and why I think that we put out a good product, and we're in the minor leagues, and we're not up there. We don't need to know. It's on a need to know basis, and we don't need to know. So that's fine. Although I did find out we're having a big event next month as well that I'm
I
supposed
did
to
see that. What
I'm
is
supposed it's the 10th anniversary party. There's going to be Jerry Springer is coming down and
that?
hosting it.
Capitol Theater, right? That's pretty
Cap-
big.
Yeah, yeah. I
Should
mean,
I
it's
go?
I think as long as you buy a ticket, you're able to go. They're
How much
very
tickets?
they're pretty expensive ticket.
They're probably what, like $20. You just don't want me to go, do you?
No, I think they're more than that. I think they're like $75 to tell you the truth.
Who's gonna be
VI, supposedly all the Bone personalities are going to be there. I don't know if I'm going to be there because I'm supposed to be out of town. If I can move some things around, then I guess I'll try to make it.
What's the date? October.
I don't know. It's go to theboneonline.com. It's sometime in October next month. So that should I don't really know. Apparently we're supposed to everything again. Goes back to a communication thing. Anything that I learned about this event, I heard about it like everybody else did that morning, and I was like, oh, that's a cool thing. And then I I was listening later on to Drew, and then he was like, yeah, everybody's gonna prepare something like some sort of special thing to commemorate 10 years. I didn't know that. I mean, like, I didn't know any of this. So they've already had the heads up to kind of work on their thing. And I don't know what Johnny and I are gonna do. I might just shoot myself. I'm not pulling our Bud Dwyer. I'm not totally positive what I'm gonna do yet. But I'm sure it'll be something fun. So get your tickets right now, theboneonline.com. So yeah, that was another thing that bothered. I guess we did get a month's heads up, but in one of the emails, it's like, oh, we didn't want anybody to ruin it, before the announcement. It's like, all right, well, just say don't ruin it. Don't. This is a secret. But okay, I guess he thinks we have a head injury or a low IQ, so that's fine too. So yeah, it was a little bit of a tough day, but the thing that really bothered me about it was like some people that don't like you finally have something that they can hold over your head and like kick you in the nuts for it. That's
What
what
was said specifically?
it really wasn't like we got one ass wipe in here, Jim. Boring as usual. All right, Jim. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, I meant like with the hockey stuff.
Oh, well, it's just they're going to be airing the hockey games on the Bone.
Didn't you? I thought you said something in prep where.
No. I think the thing is, obviously, and I will say that we don't really get much. Johnny and I don't really get much people that don't like us, but everybody gets people that don't like them, and I get it. But it's really something that they can like hold over you because obviously we're going to be off the air those nights most likely when the Lightning are playing. That's the time slot that we're in. Um, but they can't just call you names or something. Like they finally have something they can, and these are nobody. These are people I don't know. They just, for whatever reason, I'm not their cup of tea. Not Johnny's not their cup of tea. And they can finally say something to like try to hurt us.
Oh, so nothing's been said. You're just anticipating the ammunition people now have against you.
It's more just it's like stranger. It's nobody's. It's strange. I don't know who this. It was one comment that I saw on Instagram, and it was like it was something rude, and like you can't even respond because they get like it hurt. Yeah, this obviously it hurts my feelings, and it's something that that bothers me because I'm trying to make this a career, and they finally have something they can dangle over you and get you. So that was a thing that annoyed me today. It was just one moron, but and I get it too. Like I'm not dead, so I was gonna say dancing on people's graves, but you know what I mean, that expression. Like when some if you wanna do that when somebody's down, fine. I get the situation we're in as far as not even this, but the world. Like things are bad and people are sad and mad and they don't have anybody to lash out at. So if that makes you feel better where you could stick it to me with one little Instagram comment and it hurt me today, I'm for it. I'm for it. I'll be your Jesus today. So if today, if you want to say anything hurtful or mean, like today's the day to do it because it will hurt me today. But tomorrow I'll be fine. So if you would
How
like to
did you find
uh,
out? Is it an email or did you find out on social media?
about the hockey stuff,
Hmm.
I found out like everybody else did with on the Mike Calta show this morning. I mean, I knew, like I said, when I got the email, like, hey, are you available to they wanted me to run the board, during the hockey game so I could kind of keep my hours and whatever. And I declined that because I feel like that's just going backwards. And we already regressed. This time last year it was, we got cut an hour from the show but we got moved back an hour. So it was kind of like a even kind of split. Not really, because we still lost an hour, but at least there was something positive that came along with it.
Yeah.
Instead of finishing at midnight, we were done at 10. And now it's like the next year, it's well, you're probably gonna be off the air of a fourth to a third of 6 months. Hockey season and the Lightning are good, so they'll probably be back in the playoffs, which means probably even longer than 6 months. You're talking like 8 months,
Right.
and that's going to be so. But I don't know. Like I don't really want to react too much yet because I don't know what's going on other
Right.
than what other people know. So I don't want to like start just trashing
Well,
people
you know
and
what they say, when God closes a window, he opens a door, or some, I almost said the S word, or some
yeah,
stuff like that. So
true.
you know, I'm not saying that this is a good thing, but sometimes when things look like they're a bad thing, it allows you more time and opportunity, like you said, to work on something else, put resources into something else. So,
Right.
unfortunately, now it's up to you to kind of be the determining factor of, if something productive comes out of this. Because I mean, I stew over this a lot, but I think about when I got fired from the Bone, and for a good week, I thought I was done in radio completely. Like I was like, there's no other game in town. What am I going to work at FLZ? What am I going to work sports? I can't. I have zero skills. I dropped out of grad school. I'm going to go back to being like a friggin' bartender or something. I love radio. It doesn't love me back. What am I going to do? I moved across the country for this job. It's over. I'm over. Whatever shall I do? And everything worked out.
Yeah,
Obviously. But
and
also, there's a factor of luck in that as well. I was kind of in the right place at the right time, friends with the right people before they went crazy on me, sort of deal. Got me in the door to a place that I initially hated for 3 months, but once I got through that hazing period, it has been monumental. So
yeah. I that's been my course in life that I found too is it seems pretty bleak, and right when it seems to bleak is something happens. So I'm almost a little excited. Not that it's like super bleak. It's just unfortunate that um that this kind of happened to us. But like who knows? Maybe something. Shout out to John Senning, by the way, the only person to text and be like, "Hey, thinking about you today." That's all he said. He is. I don't know how anybody. I don't think anybody does dislike that man. There's a lot of people that dislike me and I get why. I certainly understand why. But John is just such a sweet human
He's
being.
very likable. Now, the games you said start at 7, so is any other show affected, or is it just you and Johnny?
I would, yeah. Well, I mean, Mo is 6 to 8,
Oh, that's right.
so he's probably going to be preempted quite a bit too. Often, when we are, I would imagine he will be. And even Drew, I think there's some afternoon games from time to time. So I don't know if that he'll be preempted too, or how that's going to work. Again, like I don't know anything. I just
Yeah.
know that it is happening, and I don't know what the future plans are. No one's expressed anything to me. That is frustrating, but it is what it is. And I like, this is a big move for the station. The partnership is tremendous. The Lightning are a
What's
great.
the? I don't know if you know the details, but what's the contract? Is it just this year, or is it? Okay.
No idea. No idea. I have no. I know as much as anybody else who listens to the radio station knows. But it's a great thing. The business end of it, I totally get. And yeah, it does affect us. It stinks, but it's such a great thing for the radio station. And I do like that. But it just stinks that it kind of affects us and what we do. But who knows what's going to happen in the future. So we'll see. Jason Clark says, so you're saying root against Lightning? Never, never, Jason. Go Lightning. We're talking another Stanley Cup here this year, I think. Eric says, hopefully on hockey nights, a Johnny B show will be after the game instead of Celtic reruns. Maybe. I don't know, Eric. We'll see. Jason again says, you're going places well. Keep up the good work. You've come a long way since Stay Woke. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Eric says, F them. Thank you, Chef Voodoo Chef. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
voodoo.
Agreed. David Council says, hi, everybody. I like that.
Okay.
Eric says he misses you. Well, she's right
Yes,
here.
Resident Dead Girl. Yep.
Yeah, she's right here. Let's see. And then Jim says, boring as usual.
Yep.
Womp womp. Thanks, Jim. Well, like I said, today's the day.
I too received some bad news over the last. This is such a not a white person problem. I shouldn't say that. This is a first world problem. So I was set to go to Puerto Rico this weekend. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh yeah, didn't you buy plane tickets and everything?
Oh, the boyfriend did buy the plane tickets. I was just about to book the Airbnb when all of a sudden a very quiet hurricane season turned into a tropical depression or a wave or something. There was some sort of activity in the Atlantic that was raising eyebrows, and we kind of waited almost the last minute to make sure before we canceled the trip. But it turns out, even if it doesn't develop into, I think it's right now a depression, even if it doesn't develop into a hurricane, it's like the whole trip would be ruined because it would just be raining and thundering the entire time. So what's the point?
You know who's the blame for that?
God.
Nope.
Oh.
Worse. Johnny Bell. Johnny, I don't know if you know this, but has a predilection to dare Mother Nature. I think you were around. Yeah, you
I
know.
was around where. Yes. Okay. What did he do this time?
Last week he was talking crap again. Like, bring it on. I'm ready. Oh, no hurricanes. Oh, you got this little punk ass storm in the Atlantic Ocean. This is when Danielle was cooking up there, going up and hitting England or something. And he made a challenge to Mother Nature.
Yeah.
And it appears that Mother Nature has responded with this tropical disturbance heading to the Caribbean, which ruined your vacation and may affect the lives of everybody in, if not in Florida, perhaps the Tampa Bay area, if it scoots up along the coast and pulls.
Yeah, I did see that. Something about a Fiona. I think they've named it. So that's
Already.
I think I could be wrong, but I think I just saw something about naming whatever is on its way up to Florida. So, it is what it is. It's not a big deal, but I have a 4-day weekend to do what with, I don't know. So, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe some more jujitsu.
Why do you have off for 4 days? It's not like a holiday.
No, it's not a holiday. Bubba the Love Sponge, my employer, I'm the host of the Bubba the Love Sponge show, has been more willing to do more things regarding self-care. including taking time off, seeing friends and family. So what he does, what he likes to do is instead of taking like, 2 full weeks off, shut up, cat. Instead of taking 2 full weeks off and like, do Christmas or something like that, he likes to take or like a spring break. Shut up! Shut up! Sorry. He
Wow.
likes to take these extended weekends, like a few weekends, throughout the year. So
Okay.
he's going to LJ, Georgia, to stay in a cabin over the weekend.
Oh, paradise.
Yes. And so we were thinking, hey, let's get out of here. Let's go do something fun because we got this random 4-day weekend, which is always the best because holiday weekends prices, skyrocket and stuff. But if it's just a random weekend, it's awesome. Well, whatever. So now I don't know what I will be doing for the next 4 days, but maybe I'll just take some more jujitsu and get choked out and do that. So we'll see. But
Want to make some YouTube vids?
Some YouTube vids?
Yeah. All right. You don't have to answer right now.
Scheduling. Yeah, we'll discuss scheduling, but that's a possibility for sure.
Okay, good. I wanted to touch on on something else. Well, I'm sorry about your trip, by the way. That's
no worries. Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but I did want to talk to you. I had something about Gisele Bündchen's husband and her, but I feel like this is going to be kind of pressing since I was going to say, oh my God, I almost said celebrated. Not celebrate, but commemorated the anniversary of September 11th. And I saw a story, and I feel like sometimes when we do talk any sort of politics, it looks like we're MAGA people from time to time. So I wanted to take an opportunity to crap on a neocon this week. Do you remember Ari Fleischer? Is that his name? Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing here.
Nope.
Ari Fleischer. He was the press secretary under George W. Bush for a period of time. Now, since 2013, he has gathered his notes and his recollection and live tweeted the events of September 11th. I don't know why he just doesn't go back and retweet these, but he finds the will and the nerve to actually go back in his memory and talk about what it was like that day, since he was, aware and there and ever present in this moment. He was a press secretary. This year, he decided not to do that. He said, I've decided that my story has been told, and I will not live tweet what took place on 9/11 again. He said that on September 10th. He said, in truth, it is exhausting to relive that day. It wears me down to go through it, even though I am not the one who suffered the most. Well, at least he put that, in the tweet. These people are true monsters, and I'll tell you why. So what's different this year? He does this every year. So why now? Why is he too exhausted to do it? Well, his firm signed up to represent Leave Golf, whatever it is, LIV Golf Tour. Are you familiar?
Mm-hmm. So
this is the Saudi-backed professional golf tournament. His firm, Fleischer Communications, went ahead and is now representing the Saudi-based golf thing, and has been since June 2022.
And why do people have a problem with this league? I mean, Saudi Arabia is is run by evil demons, but so are we. I don't know the correlation. I understand that are they trying to say that the Saudis were responsible for September 11th. I know that it was, I believe it was 19 Saudi nationals, two Egyptian nationals, but it was Al Qaeda. It wasn't the government of Saudi Arabia, although, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think that they may have been, but publicly it was Al Qaeda that took responsibility for took credit for 9/11. So why are people so upset about this? We do business with Saudi Arabia all the time.
Yeah, but it just seems like that's the only thing that changed. Every year he painstakingly goes through his memory, his notes, gets it out, live tweets it, gets a bunch of retweets, and probably a bunch of follows, says, hey, I have this firm now, but you can sign up here if you want to be a part of what I'm doing. And now when he works for a Saudi-based company, he's saying, I can't do it anymore. It's just too much. Like, do you really believe that this is of his own free will? Or do you think that he was told maybe, hey, let's not this year? How
Well, of
about that?
course, the latter.
That's the whole thing, right? So all it takes is a little bit of money for people who have shilled and have, communicated their experience and their the pain that they went through. All it takes is a few $1 million to go. "Eh." Again, I don't necessarily blame
He
them.
was I think he was virtue signaling, when he was doing the live tweets every year after 9/11 too. Like,
For
oh,
sure.
remember me?
Yep,
Remember
I
me?
was here.
I was press secretary. Like, everything is done in self-interest. I don't see how this is any different.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
know?
he did say that he said, as I explained in my tweets, I had to board a flight to travel. And the fact that after 21 years, there is nothing new to say or reveal led me to the decision to be made. Any other reason is a conspiracy theory.
Why
If
did he
you
have to make a statement at all? Why couldn't he just be quiet
he should have
and
just
just disappear
agreed.
into the abyss?
Agreed. I get it. Hey, I totally get it. I'm not saying that I wouldn't take a bunch of money and start shilling for the Saudis because I might. I don't have any. I mean, you're right. It's the same thing. This is all them, us. When I say us, I mean, of course, our country. They work together, they blow each other up. It's just part of the deal.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I wouldn't take money from Saudi Arabia because at this point I'll take money from just about anybody. Things are getting bleak. That's why I don't mind if you want to say mean stuff to me today
Hmm.
because I get it. It's bad. And if that
Hmm.
makes you feel better, I just hope that some prince is potentially watching this stream or will come across it somehow. Maybe I should title it Hello to My Friends in the Saudi Kingdom. Maybe that's what I'll title this podcast. And that way, hopefully, we'll get their attention. And if something does happen, Anna, you are entitled to a certain percentage of this.
Oh, wonderful. Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm happy to spread the wealth and the blood money as far as I can.
I'll take blood money. No
Me
problem.
too.
If I don't, somebody else is gonna. So
If we don't, somebody else
better
will.
in my hands than yours. Sorry.
Exactly. It's just I don't know. I mean, this guy is not a good human being. Few of us are these days, but
Well, what I've learned in my deep dive into everything CIA, because I am obsessed, what they're really looking for and what most people are capable of is ethical flexibility, right?
mm,
You wouldn't kill anybody, but if they start threatening your family or something, you're more than welcome to, or you'd be more than willing to go ahead and exert violence on them. Saying, even if you stated before that I could never kill anybody, now all of a sudden situation has changed. Someone's threatened you. Someone tried to hurt you. Now you're willing to hurt them. That's obviously like a pretty obvious example, but as you get more nuanced, you'll be willing to do more things in different types of situations if you feel like the ends justify the means. And that's really what I looked. That's what I've been hearing about when I've been looking into CIA and CIA recruitment. And the kind of people that they're looking for is people that can kind of do that sort of thing, where they can kind of justify, okay, maybe this isn't really ethically moral, but in the name of national security, homeland security, we're going to go ahead and do it.
I was listening to this podcast that some would label a conspiracy podcast. All of it was very well sourced. I will say most of the articles came from, I would say, credentialed news organization,
Reputable.
mainstream news organization. And when I was going through, and sometimes when you're listening to a podcast, you're not actively listening, you're kind of passively listening, but then something will catch your attention. And something caught my attention where it kind of made me jump back because of the current time and date that we're in. And it kind of goes back to the 9/11 anniversary. Did you know that Osama bin Laden was an activist against climate change?
I did not. No.
Neither did I. But it turns out, let me pull up the thing here. I got to be my own producer, so I gotta share the screen, and then we're gonna go to Brave tab. I'm sorry, but I have to speak out loud, otherwise I'll get to. Here we go. There it is, right there. Osama bin Laden. This is Newsweek too, by the way. I don't want you to think I'm on some weirdo website. Newsweek. This is from March 2016. This article came out, but it said that Osama bin Laden wrote a letter calling for the American people to help President Barack Obama fight catastrophic climate change and, quote, save humanity. And the latest evidence of his worries about environmental issues, newly released documents show. I don't know what to say anymore. I it's just I don't know anybody can think that this is real anymore. I mean, like, I know that planes hit the towers. I get that. There's some speculation of whether there was people on there on the planes. I mean, there was obviously people in the buildings, but that I think that probably happened, okay? But not honestly, now I kind of question everything. I don't know what's real and what's fake anymore. But to say that Osama bin Laden was a climate change activist, does that not just ring as absurd to anybody else, or does people just
No.
that's interesting?
I don't think so. I think people are what's the word I'm looking for? Not compartmentalized, but kind of like each person's character is compartmentalized. You could say like, oh, Hitler hated the Jews, but he was also a vegetarian, or
Mhm.
Saddam Hussein was a monster that gassed the Kuwaitis, but he also did wonderful things for the Iraqi infrastructure. You know what I mean? So like, and which is true. He helped with the economy, he did great things for the Iraqi infrastructure, but he also gassed, Kuwaitis and stuff like that. So people are people are nuanced. People are compartmentalized. So it's very strange.
But do you think that Osama bin Laden was a climate change activist? Because
I mean,
I mean,
strike
there's
me
been
as such.
what's that?
I mean, he doesn't strike me as such. I mean, if you're really worried about the climate, I assume flying a few planes into buildings with all of the combustion and the rubble and things like that. I imagine that's probably not great for the environment. Um, but I don't know. I think he was just looking for anything to kind of attack America, and he saw that maybe he could sort of curry favor with some of the crazy lefties that were like, hey, look at this guy. He's not so bad. Yeah, he orchestrated 9/11, but he also cares about grass and the dolphins. So how bad can he be?
So I mean, you do believe that he thought this? Because I think it's just
It's
like a
it's perfectly
intelligent plan.
conceivable. It's perfectly
Oh,
conceivable to
that's
just
interesting.
say anything. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Do I think he actually meant it? Probably not, but he probably said it. You know.
Well, I mean, obviously now people are obsessed with the climate change thing, and I'm hoping YouTube doesn't strike me for even saying the words climate change. I'm not saying it's well, never mind. I'm just gonna say that Osama bin Laden was concerned about it, as are we here
Mm-hmm.
at this program. But I don't think there's any chance that he said anything about this. He said that in the letter apparently that the CIA wrote, he said that bin Laden blamed the 2007-8 U.S. financial crisis on corporate control of capital and corporate lobbyists, and the U.S. led wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay, but well, maybe he did. I mean, that seems pretty reasonable. A lot of people think that. I think that. So
Well,
I don't
I mean,
know.
this was a man who just hated the West and hated America. So any chance he has to throw stones about anything, he's going to do that. You know, and it's easy to write something and not mean it. I do it all the
It's
time.
yeah, right, right. But it's also easy to just like say that it's like the CIA
Yeah.
goes, yeah, I found this letter. It's
Some guy
crazy.
in the cave's like, so what do you think about the climate? And he's just like, yeah, they suck. Hate America. They need to worry about methane gas from cow burps. End
Yeah.
story. Like,
Yeah, it's like the worst person is still worried about this thing, and so you
mhm,
should be concerned about it as well and
right.
eat bugs.
Hmm.
That's important. That's very
Right.
important for the
Right.
future to save humanity. Seems like you would wanna, maybe, like, wipe out at least a section. I think climate change would probably affect this country more so than Saudi Arabia or Afghanistan.
Mhm.
So you would think he'd kind of be rooting it on
Mhm.
if he knew the implications. But I don't know. I was blown away when I saw that, just with the where we're at right now, and it was like a precursor to that whole thing. He was the first Greta Thunberg, really, Osama bin Laden.
He
So
really was a minimalist. Yeah, probably not by choice at the end when he was living in a cave in Pakistan, but yeah, he really did live a very minimalistic lifestyle.
he sure did.
Mhm.
Where were you that day, September 11th,
Oh,
2001?
I thought you were gonna say when Bin Laden was captured and killed. I was in ninth grade, San Diego. I have like a vivid memory of my grandmother who lived with us at the time, like banging on my mom's bedroom door because my dad would go to work early at like 5, and she was like banging on the door, telling my mom to like put on the TV. And I remember being late to school that day because my mom was just like, "What the f?" And I knew things were bad when I was walking to school late, and over the intercom they started talking about it, and I knew that was a problem. And then I remember my history teacher, Mr. Shigela, sat us down, and he was a very vibrant and colorful speaker and orator, and was like, "This day will live in infamy, and they're gonna write about this, and this is the craziest thing that's ever happened." So, but and I also went to temple that week. I remember because very rarely would we go to temple outside of like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So it was a packed house. People were very much into God that year, week, whatever, but it faded. So
Yeah, I was in, I think, 10th grade in chemistry class, and the announcement came over, and we put the TV on. And
you were in 10th grade.
yeah, I think so. 10th or 11th grade,
We're two
maybe.
and a half years apart, and I was in ninth grade.
Well, it was 2001. I mean, I graduated in 2003, so I must have been a sophomore, or
Okay.
maybe, I don't know. I don't know, either 10th or 11th grade.
Okay.
And was in chemistry class. They turned on the TV. The announcement came over, and being a young man, I guess you could say that, a boy, an old boy. I was an old boy
Mm-hmm.
that time. That you obviously didn't take it seriously. Teenagers thinks everything's stupid and this is lame.
Sure.
Let's make fun of. We kind of like made fun of it initially, and then I remember going into the front office, and the lady that I liked that worked at the front desk, she was crying, and I was like, "Oh, something's going on here that I didn't fully understand at the time." But boy, if only we knew what was to come.
Mm-hmm.
Like those days, I'm so glad I got to experience life up into that, at least, my childhood, and into adulthood,
Adolescence.
adolescence. Yeah, I got to experience like the good times, I guess. And I think probably every generation thinks that, but that was really a big turning point because things were never the same after that day. Definitely for the worse. And I'm just kind of blessed that I was at least able to experience the milk and honey days of this country, where we kind of were growing instead of telling everybody to eat bugs. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really kind of degraded over that period of time. It kind of started with taking your shoes off at the airport, and it's kind of ending, or at least ending. At least we're at now, like, hey, you're gonna just be poor and like it and eat bugs and stuff because the climate is messed up. So screw you.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
it's kind of all connected, and it kind of goes back to this Osama bin Laden being a climate activist thing. It's kind of all interconnected. So there's so many moving pieces of the puzzle that you kind of feel like Charlie, and that meme from what's that show, the Philadelphia show, Always Sunny in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, connecting all the pieces, and kind of crazy. That's what I feel like most of the time. But I don't know. There's interesting connections there at the very least. I'm not saying that they're totally true, but it's
Sure.
open-minded to them
Mm-hmm.
at the very least. So anyway, Anna, it was a pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for talking me off the ledge today. I'm really proud of myself because I thought I was just going to go insane, but I'm handling this like,
With the lightning deal.
yeah, I'm handling it like an adult. I'm keeping some sort of positivity. I'm not giving up hope. Um, because I don't know. I don't know what the future is going to hold, but we're going to see together. And thank you for not being a jerk to me. Those of you that weren't, and those of you that were, I
You
get it.
understand.
I understand. So, Anna, we'll see you next week. Enjoy your 4
Where
days.
am I going?
Huh?
Where am I going?
I don't know. I think you're going to make YouTube videos with
No.
me for 4
Where am
days.
I going after this?
You're going to karate class.
Thank you.
So enjoy that. I hope you chop some boards, beat up some children, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, Will.
Goodbye.
Bye.
There she goes. Off to karate class. Folks, I would implore you to please follow the show here, willsyoutube.com, willspodcast.com. Subscribe. I will be doing extra videos here in the coming month. The plan is to make, if not do a live stream, then make some sort of video those days that we're off and put it to an audio only on the podcast. So yeah, do that. 813-693-2124, hmbradio.com. You can email me if you want, thehomemadebroadcast@gmail.com. I don't know how to get into that mailbox, but I'll figure it out. And so text or something, 813-693-2124. I hope you have a great day. We'll be back tonight after Ask the Dom, 10 p.m. on 102.5 The Bone, Johnny B and I. And we look forward to speaking with you then. Goodbye.